everybody, this is Robin with Creative2xmom, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my summer reading list. So welcome back to the channel. My name is Robin and this is Creative2xmom. This channel is all about homeschooling, parenthood, and thriving in the day-to-day. And part of my thriving journey is some really good books. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the books that I have planned to read over the summer. And I say planned because we all know things don't always go as we plan them. But this is what I have sort of prioritized for the next 3 months. So I love to read anyway. Reading is my recharging activity in the evenings on road trips. My husband is always laughing because a lot of times he'll see me like this. And he's like, "Can we have a conversation, please?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm reading. I can't have a conversation right now." I have to laugh that as I have gone further and further into this homeschooling journey, nonfiction has really become my book of choice lately. I realized that I was like, oh yeah, I love fiction. And I went back through the videos from the past several years and my nonfiction pile just gets bigger and bigger. So I have quite a bit of nonfiction, but I also love to read fiction books in the summer because it's my recharging activity to just have something brainless. I know that throughout the school year I'm going to have enough of a challenge with things like algebra and physics and natural science. So over the summer I also like to recharge with a lot of just fiction, relaxing. Those are the best books to take camping. Those are the best books to take on road trips. So I have quite a variety here today. So I have 3 categories of books today. As I was creating my list, I found that the things that I wanted to read fell into 3 different areas. The first one is homeschooling, and that is because I tend to use the summer as a time to do continuing education, and I'm going to have a video about that coming up really soon, but it's my time to refocus, to get a vision, to learn new techniques, new methods, new ways of teaching my kids so that I can become a better home educator. The second category is family and marriage, and I think that ties in so well with homeschooling because we are mothers first, we are wives first, and then we are homeschoolers, and that's hard to remember sometimes, especially in those long months like November and February. We're just in the trenches of homeschooling and getting through. But it's so important to be a healthy mom before you can be a healthy educator. And then, like I said, I love just some light fiction, fun reads in the summer. So I have some classics here. I just have some reading that I wanted to get to. So I have some good nonfiction mixed in there as well. So I don't have all of these books in physical copies. Some of them are on my Kindle. Some of them are coming from the library. So for those that I don't have physically with me today, I will insert pictures for you. Let's start with the, I guess, family category. This would be your parenting, this would be your marriage category. And this first book I wavered if it would be a family book or if it would be home educating. Like I said, that line tends to gray sometimes. The first one is The Danish Way of Parenting. This is by Jessica Joel Alexander and Ivan Dishland-Schendel. I have had this on my reading list from the library for quite some time. It's what the happiest people in the world know about raising confident, capable kids. I'm always on the lookout for how to be a better mom raising healthy children because I don't think that I have it all figured out. I'm excited to see if there's anything I can glean from this one. The second book is Family Driven Faith. This is by Voddie Baucham. I've never read any of his books, although I've watched a lot of his speaking on YouTube. I agree with a lot of his philosophy of parenthood, his philosophy of home education, and I feel like this one is definitely going to blur that line between homeschool and mom and hopefully melding the two. This has been on my list for quite some time. I'm excited to pick it up. The third book I have in this category is actually a carryover from my spring reading list. It's one that I've wanted to read. It just got pushed to the back of the pile, and it's Raising Resilient Kids. I think we all know that 2020 and 2021 has definitely challenged us as adults to be resilient. So I'm looking for some good advice on how to build that resiliency in my kids, because I'm sure this will not be the last challenging year of our lives. There's always new challenges, new things to overcome, and so I'm looking forward to this one. And the last book in this category is Vertical Marriage by Dan and Ann Wilson. This is also a carryover from my spring reading list. So many of us have a tendency to put our marriages on the back burner, and really our husbands are our best advocates. Our wives are our best advocates. If you are a stay-at-home homeschool dad, it's a partnership. It's a partnership that makes the family work, that makes the homeschool work, that makes a brighter future for our kids. All right, let's get to my favorite category for the summer, and that is homeschool books. I don't know about you, but when I am screeching, sliding into June, I definitely need the encouragement. So my first homeschool read is Homeschool Bravely. Now, if you've been around my channel for any amount of time, this is a book that I read every summer, and that is because it's not necessarily educational philosophy as much as it is educational encouragement. Reminders that you don't just have this, but the Lord has you and He's got your kids. It's a great encouragement, a refocusing of what your purpose is for homeschooling and how you can better achieve that for the glory of the Lord. The next book in that category that I plan on reading over the summer is Awakening Wonder by Sally Clarkson. I was really surprised by this title when I picked it up, I believe last August or September. I've read a few things by Sally Clarkson. She's very sweet, she's very gentle, but this book in particular had a huge impact on me as a homeschooler. This will only be my second time going through it, but from what I remember, I loved this book. I'm excited to revisit it as I refresh myself for the new homeschool year. Continuing on of books that I read every summer and love every summer would be Better Together by Pam Barnhill. This is a book that I typically will throw in when we are going on vacation. If we're going to be gone for a few days camping, it's a very quick read. I could read this one in 2 or 3 days tops. My favorite thing about this is that it works a lot like a resource for creating your morning basket, and morning basket time evolves every year for us. Now, this was our 9th homeschool year, and I felt like I really zeroed in on a morning basket that worked well for us. We loved it, favorite part of the day, but I know that things will switch up again next year. Maybe they won't. I'm going to go through this one and sort of plan out. This is a encouragement, but also a planning resource for our next year. And the last book in my homeschooling category is Know and Tell by Karen Glass. Now, over the years, we have added more and more Charlotte Mason elements into our homeschool, but I still really struggle with narration. I know the purpose, I understand the basic concept, but I've not done a lot of studying or researching into what that would practically look like for our home. So I'm going to be picking this one up from the library. I'm excited to read it. I've heard great things about it, and I think it will really change the way we do education. And last but not least, let's talk some fiction. One of these I've actually already started because I was so excited about it, and that is Brave New World. I've heard so much about this, especially with the events of the last couple of years and how a lot of this fictionalized story parallels our world today. I'm about halfway through it. I'm really enjoying it. It's a great book. It's one of those classics that I can't believe I haven't picked up before now, and I really felt like I wanted to add that one to my list this year. Word of warning, it is a little bit intense, at least what I've read so far. So I will have my full review on this title at the end of the month when I share what I'm reading. The next book is The Endless Step. This is by Esther Hotzig. This was supposed to be part of our Russian study in Story of the World. In fact, I think it was even supposed to be part of the Modern Age study, but I just couldn't get it from the library until we were done with the school year. I didn't necessarily feel like assigning it to the kids, but I was still interested in reading it myself. So I'm going to pick this one up. This is about a family that's been exiled to Siberia. And yes, it would have fallen in line with Story of the World Volume 4 had I gotten it on time, because it's set in 1941. I'm excited to read this one. I have a little bit of a background in traveling to Russia and Ukraine, so this falls right in line with some of my own personal interests. The next book is Bambi, A Life in the Woods. This is by Felix Salten. No great pictures on the front, but I think we all have a basic idea of the Bambi story. This is going to be on my 5th grader's reading list for next year, and as I was creating his reading list, I thought, hey, that's one I think I want to read. We all know the book is always better than the movie, so I'm adding this one to my fiction pile. And the last book in my fiction list is Christmas at the Amish Bake Shop. This is going to be a review book for me, but I'm excited to add it to my summer reading list. It might sound a little bit odd to be reading about Christmas in the summer, but actually I think the summer is probably my favorite time to read about Christmas because it's all that joy and excitement of the later half of the year. I love Amish fiction. I'm actually really surprised that this is the only one on my summer reading list because it tends to be my go-to in the fiction category. But this is, I think it's 4 novellas, maybe 3, but it's 4 novellas in one volume, and I think it's going to be perfect for any camping or traveling we have going on this summer. So those are the books on my summer reading list. As always, make sure to watch out at the end of every month. I do a video sharing what I read throughout that month and my impressions of the books. So hopefully you will get to see all of these. Of course, sometimes there's a carryover that gets pushed back, but that is my goal for the next 3 months. I tried to narrow it down to 10 because I thought, oh, I don't know. We're going to be a little bit busy this summer, but as you can see, it was really, really hard for me to narrow down. So that is the goal. We'll see what happens. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you are reading right now, what you are loving right now, what you're reading with your kids. And we'll see you guys in our next video. Bye, guys.